At 8:42, Dave Reynolds and the Monday Morning Flow from Environment Canada after a really decent weekend. Lots of sunshine today and tomorrow. Highs both days at 22, maybe 23 degrees, and then warming up towards the latter part of the week. Right now on 13th Avenue in Campbell River, sunshine at 22 degrees. In studio with us this morning, my friend Dan Bauer, who's the president of the Advanced Wilderness Society. Yay, Dan! Hey!
Thank you very much for having me on the show, Dave.
Great to have you in studio with us today. Let's talk. Let's start from the beginning here. What exactly is the Advanced Wilderness Society?
Well, it's the Accessible
Wilderness Society.
Oh, that's okay. I get confused too. The Accessible Wilderness Society is basically an organization that believes that inclusion goes beyond urban centers and should go out into the wilderness as far as accessibility for people in wheelchairs, older senior citizens who may use a scooter, or anybody actually that has some physical challenges.
Well, you guys are clearly already doing wonderful work, because one of the things I love about this town is wherever possible, we like to lead by example here. And certainly the community in general coming together for whatever cause is one of the ways we do that. Also, another way we do that is by the amazing trail system we have that is already wheelchair accessible here, and you're working on furthering that accessibility, right?
Absolutely. We've done assessments on a number of trails here in the Campbell River area and included them in our accessibility guide that we do have that we've just put out. The trail systems are really good here. I think 4 or 5 of them we have in there, and we're also looking to look at other trail systems that are almost accessible and maybe help in making them just a little bit more accessible. Sometimes it's something simple by putting in a simple little ramp, then the whole thing becomes accessible.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are we not leading pretty much the entire world right now with our accessibilities to parks and trails here?
Western British Columbia is doing a wonderful job of that. What we're all about is creating, developing, and promoting, and we think that the world should know about this. And I think the more the world knows about this, there's hundreds of thousands of people with physical challenges across Canada that need to know.
I think what you're saying in a politically correct way is, yes, we're doing a good job, but there's lots of work to do yet.
There's always work to do. Nature is inaccessible by nature, and but we look at barriers as challenges. We're not about to pave trails, asphalt them. We want to remain and keep them that natural look. But sometimes things are really simple and simple fixes, and we're here to help make those fixes.
Well, you know, it's not lost on people who are not disabled in the fact that there's some really excellent work being done already to make those trails and parks accessible. So that's pretty good stuff. Let's talk about the North Vancouver Island Travel Guide, which is out when? Like today?
Yeah, it's been out for about a week now. Okay. We actually took some time to do assessments on trails and parks from Nanaimo north, and included them in the guide. In the guide we have a mapping system that color codes the trails to let people know the degree of difficulty or degree of accessibility, I guess is a better way to put it. Just to let people know, travelers know that where they can and cannot go. When we first got to the island, we went to the info centers, grabbed our brochures, and there was an awful lot of them there that had the little wheelchair icon on them saying, yes, it's accessible. And then when we got out there, well, not so much.
How does that happen, I wonder?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't know who's doing the assessments, or what their criteria are, but a lot of times we've gone out there and, okay, there's wheelchair parking.
Yeah.
But that was it. You know, we're there to see the waterfalls or whatever feature is there, but there's no way. And I mean, if you're traveling around, you're on a holiday, you're limited time, so you don't want to waste your time driving an hour and a half to this nice accessible park and
to find out it's not. Yeah.
Well, now they don't have to wonder. They can pick up our book and they'll be able to find their way to the accessibility places. Okay,
that's great. It's pretty comprehensive and looks great. You can get them here at 99.7 The River. We have a bunch. Where else can we pick these up?
They're available at London Drugs, Shoppers Drug Mart, and all your info centers here on Vancouver Island. Okay. Let's move on to some really big plans you guys have it, and I love your I'm like you, go big or go home. That's right.
So
that's right.
Tell us about the plans for the park itself.
Okay, well, our main focus and the reason we became an organization in the first place was to actually create a campground and resort facility here on Vancouver Island that isn't for people in wheelchairs, but they can come because we've designed it that way. It's not for senior citizens or for people with mobility challenges, but they'll be able to come because we've designed it with their needs in mind. This facility is going to be for everybody, and that means all family members can come and enjoy it, and not just get into the room. We want to have it so that they can actually participate in the activities there: kayaking, skiing, hiking, you name it. Believe it or not, there's a sport. There's very few sports out there that a person in a wheelchair, a person with physical challenges, cannot do if the right equipment and right facility is there for them, and that's what the Accessible Wilderness Society is looking to do.
Is that easier said than done, or more difficult than it sounds?
Well, everything's a challenge, and there are barriers, but as I've stated before, I know your listeners can't see it, but I am in a wheelchair, and I look at barriers as challenges. I enjoy barriers that make me stronger, to knock them down. And we've actually gotten some great support from the provincial government. 3 or 4 different ministries are on board, and they're working right now to help us. We're looking at Crown land in the North Vancouver Island area to build this on. So we figure once we've secured the land, the rest of it's going to come along fairly quickly.
Yeah. What are the chances are this park's going to end up here in Campbell River?
We would love it to be here. We're located here. This is our home base. Obviously, this is one of the most beautiful places on the island, and we would love to look at it. And there are 2 or 3 sites that we are currently looking at that are directly here and around Campbell River.
And it's a great plan because, I mean, I love anything that's inclusionary, that, you know, everybody can get involved. It doesn't matter what reason why you would be excluded, but to have everybody involved in that is a really good idea, I think.
Absolutely. We want families to be able to stay together. I mean, there's an awful lot of really nice summer camps available out there, and we don't want to be confused as one of them, and they are nice, and don't get me wrong, I never would put them down because I know a lot of people enjoy them, but generally speaking, they are for people in wheelchairs, and, you know, somebody gets taken there, and then the rest of the family goes on their other vacation. We don't want that to happen. When I was first injured 25 years ago, I met a fella, and he was in rehab with me, and I remember him telling his family and his friends, you know, sell the boat, sell the camper, you know, kids, I can't take you fishing anymore.
Jeez.
And it broke my heart.
No kidding.
And I just don't want any dads to ever have to tell their kids that they can't take them fishing because they are in a wheelchair. And that's what this is all about. I don't want to see that happen anymore, and I want families to stay together. Everybody deserves to enjoy one of Canada's greatest resources and the island's greatest resources, and that's our great outdoors.
Yeah, we certainly enjoy an awesome outdoor lifestyle here, and everybody needs to be included in that, right?
Absolutely.
How do if I want to help, how do we do that? How do we get a hold of you? Can we contribute funds? You need volunteers? How does that work?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers, and obviously as a nonprofit organization, funds are always an issue. What we'd really like from individuals, businesses, organizations, governments, everybody here in Campbell River is to show their enthusiasm. Give us a call. So our phone number is 923-9612. Let us know what you think of our idea. If you have any thoughts, ideas, plans, suggestions, we're open to it. Buy our book. That's always great. They're, again, available at all the locations stated, and we're selling them for $10. All the proceeds from the sale of the book go to the Accessible Wilderness Society. So.
And that's 923-9612.
Yeah,
right?
or www.awsociety.org.
All right, sounds good. Dan Bauer, President of the Accessible Wilderness Society.
Thank you very much. You betcha.
Dan, thanks for being here. Great work, continued success, and please keep us posted and let us know how we can help in any way. Okay?
Absolutely, we will. Thank you.
Dan, thanks very much. It's 8:52 now at 99.7 The River.